A state politician is charged with DUI after failing 3 sobriety tests. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Makia Turner. Thank you for joining us tonight. A state Republican who pleaded guilty after crashing his boat and injuring 9 people while drunk last year finds himself involved in yet another alcohol-fused incident. Delegate Donald Dwyer was arrested overnight in Pasadena for driving under the influence. Anne Arundel County police say a patrol officer spotted the 55-year-old's car driving erratically on Route 100 just before 1 a.m.
This was a Cadillac DeVille. This sedan was driving on Route 100 near Oakwood Road, swerving from the left lane all the way to the far right lane onto the shoulder. This continued numerous times. The officer at that point was very concerned for the safety of whoever was in that vehicle, especially the folks that are out on the road at that time of morning. He followed that vehicle, called in a possible DUI, and had assistance from another officer there. They conducted a traffic stop. They encountered the driver. They immediately smelled the odor of alcohol coming from the vehicle. Additionally, the driver had red glassy eyes and was had slurred speech. There was a series of field sobriety tests that were conducted that raised more suspicion.
Dwyer, who represents Maryland's 31st District, was taken into custody and later released by a judge on his own recognizance. He is charged with 15 counts, including driving under the influence, reckless and negligent driving, speeding, and driving on suspended tags.
Prince George's leaders call on residents to mobilize for the 50th anniversary of the 1963 March on Washington. This morning, the NAACP held a press conference to discuss how far the nation has come since Martin Luther King Jr.'s famous I Have a Dream speech.
Our issues are not done. We had the voting right that was put back with the Supreme Court decision. We had affirmative action that was set back with the Supreme Court decision. We have stop and frisk in New York. That's why we are marching in 2013 on August 24th.
Some will say that with the election of an African-American president and African-American leadership here in Prince George's County, that the victory is won and the struggle is over. Would Dr. King agree with you that now the time is satisfied and that we are complacent and comfortable? Would he say that we've reached economic parity? How would he feel about predatory lending and foreclosures?
Initially, it's that the government decided that certain individuals cannot be educated. It was illegal to educate them. And then we had, separate but equal, which was never equal. And then we had integration. And now, as we move forward into 2013 and beyond, guess what? Our schools are more segregated now than they were 20 and 30 years ago. That's a problem.
And leaders want residents to meet at the Washington Monument at 7 a.m. on Saturday, August 24th. From there, everyone will walk to the Lincoln Memorial for an 8 a.m. prayer service. At 9:30, speeches begin, and at noon, participants will march to the MLK Memorial. Everyone is encouraged to take Metro and to get their passes in advance. Buses must pre-register and park at RFK Stadium. Well, term limits and redistricting are forcing 2 local lawmakers to search for new jobs. And ironically, they're both planned to seek out each other's positions. CTV News has learned that Delegate Doyle Nieman plans to campaign for the District 2 County Council seat in the upcoming election.
They did create a single-member district out of the 47th, which is I've represented in the past, that I don't live in, so I can't run in that district.
What kinds of things would you like to bring to the constituents there?
Well, I've done a lot of work on housing, so we have a serious problem with housing in the county, foreclosures and people being underwater, but also a lack of affordable housing, especially for seniors and the elderly and the disabled. And those are county sort of issues.
Since Councilmember Will Compass's current position is term limited, he plans to run for the new minority seat created in District 47.
Be running for District 47B, which is the newly formed district that after the 10-year census that was formed to make sure that we have Latino representation at the state. And so most of that district also already encompasses my current councilmanic district. There's so many different issues that come up at the state level that are different from the council that you wish you had a direct say on. There's a lot of things that already been worked on in the previous years, particularly with immigrant issues such as in-state tuition. But anything that we can do, in my opinion, with new immigrants, particularly Latino community, to see how it is that we can make their stay easier.
The primary election will be held on June 24th next year. The general election takes place on November 4th, 2014.
Maryland Senator Brian Frosh, who is running for Attorney General, is expected to be endorsed by two Maryland leaders. Press reports say Joseph Curran Jr. and Stephen Sachs will endorse Frosh. Curran is Governor Martin O'Malley's father-in-law. He served as Maryland's Attorney General for 2 decades. Sachs was his predecessor. Experts say the endorsements are the latest sign of Democratic support for Frosh. Attorney General Doug Gansler is running for governor. A National Transportation Safety Board report finds that a brief lapse of attention on the part of the truck driver caused the July crash that sent a young woman and her car plummeting 27 feet into the Chesapeake Bay. Results of the NTSB investigation reveals that the truck driver, a Hungarian national working for a Canadian company, was on his first solo run in the United States. According to the report, the driver glanced into his rearview mirror just before causing the chain reaction accident. Now, Maryland Senator Barbara Mikulski requested the probe and is now asking for the agency for recommendations to improve safety on the bridge.